Hello and welcome to Business Talk, brought to you by the Northern Cincinnati Chamber of Commerce. I'm Britt Scarce with Emory Federal Credit Union. I'm your host, and today here in studio we have Andy Hakzema with Great Oaks Career Campuses. He is the Director of Adult Education. Andy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Britt.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on at Great Oaks.
Well, I think sometimes I got to start by telling the story of Great Oaks. Great Oaks has been around for 51 years. And most people here in the Sharonville area are going to say, we know what Scarlet Oaks is because that's one of our 4 campuses. So in the late 1960s, the governor said, hey, we have a shortage of skilled labor. Sounds familiar. It's what we're dealing with right now. So at that time, he said, we need to create these vocational centers. Public schools are saying we can't afford to maintain a automotive lab, we can't maintain a welding lab, machining lab, it's very expensive. So the joint vocational systems came around. So in the early 1970s, Great Oaks was formed. We created this right here on the Army Depot, right here in Sharonville. We also created one on the west side of Cincinnati in Dent, Ohio, which is Diamond Oaks. Laurel Oaks is in Milford, Ohio, and in Wilmington and Clinton County is Laurel Oaks, and I think I might have messed up. It's Live Oaks in Milford and Laurel out in Wilmington.
Yeah.
And that was built on a Clinton County Air Force Base at the time.
Okay.
So by the early 1970s, we're up and running doing career tech programming. We have grown. We now support 36 school districts in the local area here that feed into our 4 campuses.
Impressive.
And thanks. We think it's very impressive too. You know, and when you look at, we're still trying to meet those same needs that Governor Rhodes talked about in the early 70s. We need skilled laborers to go out there. So we're trying to meet the needs of the state of Ohio. What do they need in the way of careers? So we have over 25 in-demand careers that we offer at our 4 campuses. And they're all very unique. It could be from aviation, it could be animal sciences, it could be healthcare, it could be culinary arts, or it could even be, we have an equestrian program too. So we try to meet the diverse needs of all of our clients and students that are coming to our campuses. But Great Oaks is a lot more than just 4 campuses that we talk about. We have 100 teachers that teach outside of our 4 campuses. They take career tech education to those 36 school districts. They offer classes from 6th grade up through 12th grade. And typically these are career tech programs that are still in demand, but may not require the high expense of a large bay, like garage bay or culinary kitchens and stuff. So in this particular case, you might see pre-engineering, you see business programs, marketing programs that are at the high school level. But I think unique is one of the unique things that Great Oaks is offering is also middle school programs, because so many students will get to be 18 years old, their parents are saying you're going to college, and they're like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. So we offer a lot of foundational programs that start as early as 6th grade, and they're introducing students to a wide variety of career pathways. Still trying to introduce what is out there as an in-demand career.
I mean, how do you know what you might be interested in unless you're exposed to some of that stuff? And that's fantastic.
That's exactly right. So, you know, and a lot of times students are going to excel, maybe not academically, but boy, they're going to get into a class where they're able to build something, they're able to manipulate something with their hands, or creative part of their brain, and they find success there. And now, when they get to high school, it's like, well, gee, this is the pathway I want to go into. Yeah. Whether they carry that pathway to go off to college, or their sophomore year in high school, they say, I want to go to one of the 4 Great Oaks campuses to specialize in a career pathway. We're there to support them. Those students that come to one of our campuses are always going to remain as their home school. So if they're coming from Wyoming City schools, they're still Wyoming students. They just happen to come here to take their academic courses, or they take their all their career specialty. And their career specialty, they're there their junior, senior year, and that's half the day they're focusing on that. Many of our students will go out and do internships their senior year, which counts as part of their lab work. It's a great opportunity. And they earn their credits to graduate from their home school.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, explain the adult education part of
well,
Great
that's
Oaks.
a whole nother division, Britt, where we talk about the 4 campuses, the satellite programs, and adult education. So adult education is new to me, even though I've been with the Oaks for well over 20 years. It was just a side of the company that I've just recently learned, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. Adult education has 3 facets to it. What we're trying to do is to take some of those in-demand careers and provide just the skills that an adult needs to be able to go out, get the job, and be successful at it. And our focus also is to get the student placed into a job during that time that they're with us. So we have full-time programs. A full-time program will range from 600 hours up to 900 hours. 900 hours is pretty much a typical full school year. And these adults are high school graduates up to the age in the late 50s and 60s, that they're coming back.
Learning a new skill.
Learning a new skill. So we have all of our adult education programs right here at the Scarlet Oaks campus. Okay. We have heavy equipment. I'm going to miss one, I know, and I'll be upset with myself. But we have heavy equipment. We have welding. We have automotive technician. We have diesel. We have dental assisting. We have HVAC. We have advanced manufacturing. We have construction programs. And then we have a wealth of what we call short-term programs, where typically they're under 100 hours. Students will come in and get a credential, most likely in the healthcare fields. That might be phlebotomy, might be clinical medical assistant, might be an ophthalmic care program. So they come in, they get their credentials, but they got the credential and the skills to be able to go out and get that job. And we have a job posting with hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs on it all the time. People are posting on it, looking for employees.
Now, all those jobs that you just talked about, those are all career jobs that pay real well.
They do. They do.
And it's like, this is something tremendous to take advantage of, and for people to, to come and use this resource. I mean, if anyone's unhappy, with what they're doing right now, they can come to Great Oaks and they can get trained to get a job to make a lot more than maybe what they're making now.
And if you came over to talk to our adults, you're going to find them that they're going to say that same thing. I'm here to get a great job. We just had a graduation just in the last few weeks, and it was an electrical maintenance technician program. These are the guys that work in every manufacturing facility across the United States. They maintain all that equipment that's in there, all those robotic arms. They do the programming. They do everything that's the electronic pieces of it to keep it up and running. Very high in-demand program. And a young guy, 27 years old, and has a family, and he said, I've been working fast food restaurants since I got out of high school, and it was a dead-end job. It wasn't a career.
Yeah, wasn't what he wanted to do forever. Yeah.
Right. And so somebody encouraged him that this would be a great opportunity. He got it started with a program. We offer the majority of our programs in the evening, from like 4 to 10. So he was working a daytime job initially. He came in working that fast food restaurant, but he started picking up some skills and experience. Well, we're pushing him and saying, here's jobs. So he goes out and he interviews, gets a job, finishes our program, graduates, and he was just so excited, the fact that now he's making a job that he's getting paid over $50,000 a year, where that was just a pipe dream in the fast food restaurant.
Right. Yeah.
So
how does someone that hears this and says, what, it's time for me to make a change? How would someone enroll in these programs?
Great question. It's simple. Go to adult.greatoaks.com. Okay.
That's pretty simple.
That's pretty simple. You go right there and you'll see this great picture of Great Oaks, but you see students in action within the classrooms. It says click on programs. It will list a bunch of programs. You pick a program. It has videos that show you what goes on. It's testimonials, a lot of it, from our alumni that come back and say, this was great. I got a great education here. I got a job because I got this education. I am raising my family on this. So it's those testimonials of saying how successful and what a great opportunity was. But then we just have simple links that say, here's an application. You can apply this way. Do you need money to pay for your schooling? So we have a button. You can click on financial aid. If you don't apply.
So that's available too.
Oh,
so
have,
if you don't necessarily have the funds immediately available, you can help provide those.
We have 2 financial aid people that are there all the time. They answer your questions. They help you through the complicated steps of FAFSA and all that information. But you know, sometimes people are going to say, well, I'll self-pay. I can take care of that. Or some people might say, I didn't qualify for FAFSA, but I still have a need. We have grants that are available that students don't have to pay back. It's a great way to get a head start on it. Wow. We tell a lot of our students that are going into some of these short-term credentials, we'll give you a grant. It's not going to cost you anything. You can come to Great Oaks, take an STNA class, a state-tested nursing aid program. It's less than 100 hours, and it's not going to cost you anything.
Wow.
So it's a great opportunity because we really need some of these people to go into health professions.
There's a real shortage right now. So, so where do you see career tech education, heading in the next 30 years?
Well, in the next 30 years, I think we're going to see a lot of changes. But I think education is just a big cycle. You know, what might be in now may not be in 30 years or in 10 years from now. So I think sometimes we've got to look back where we were in the last 30 years. So, as I said, when we started 51 years ago, we were a joint vocational school district. Well, 30 years ago, I think a lot of parents had this image of what a joint vocational school was, and it probably wasn't very good. They're probably saying, well, gee, I went to this high school, and I knew some kids that went there, and they weren't doing very well. But those students went to Great Oaks, they got a career, and they moved on. But I think we have changed that stereotypical image now that
it's
these
really
young
changed a lot.
It has. These students that are coming to us are coming because they want this career, they want a good paying job and a career, not a job. They want to be able to move on and have something that they can support a family on. They can buy a house. They can buy all those things that they dream about.
Yeah, have a career.
Right. We have a Hall of Fame at Great Oaks of students, and it's always amazing to look back and you see these people. We have state representatives and a senator, we have Olympians, but these people have found success by getting their start at Great Oaks. And I always tell high school students many times, if they're juniors and seniors and they're like, well, gee, my parents are telling me I'm going to college. This is also a pathway to college. One of our great stories I like to share. Student was in heavy equipment, and he was doing the program, did really well, loved it his junior year. His senior year, he qualified to take college prep, college credit plus courses, and he was taking all the courses that were available. He did great with that. So he earned college credits for what he was doing in his occupational pathway. And he was 6 credits short of graduating with an associate's degree in June when he's graduating from Great Oaks. So what he did is in June he went to Hocking College and spent the summer there, took the 2 classes to get the 6 credits that he needed. He graduated with an associate's degree before his friends even left to go off to college. So he had an associate's degree and had a head start and had a job in heavy equipment
Before
making,
they even started.
Yeah, $30 an hour. And so it was a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So
Man, what a tremendous resource Great Oaks is. And hopefully, as I think things really have changed as far as the perception of going into a trade. And I think schools are doing a better job now of saying, hey, it is perfectly acceptable and honorable, and you're going to be very successful whether you go to college, go into the military, or go into a trade. All of that can make you very successful. So, Andy, thank you for coming in and letting us know about all this great stuff going on with Great Oaks. So we really appreciate you coming in and sharing all this information with us. Our guest has been Andy Hochzema with Great Oaks Career Campuses. You've been watching Business Talk. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.